Would you ever want to get into politics?
No, not really.
No?
No.
No interest in politics, why not?
I feel like when you like step into politics, that's like something where, you know, certain people will like you and certain people don't. And if you just stay mutual, like everyone likes you. So I feel like staying mutual. I feel like not getting into politics would be easier for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting, because I think you'd be a very good politician. You'd be a good leader, natural leader, and inspire people. But you're right, politics is a dirty game. It's better to go work for NASA and have loads of fun. And look who I have here beside me. We have spoke twice before, I think.
Yeah.
Online, but never met in person.
No.
So it is great to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Our youth ambassador, Faatiha Aayat. You're from Bangladesh.
Yes.
But when did you move to New York City?
I came to the US when I was 4 years old.
And now you are 11, almost 12.
Almost 12, yeah.
And we were just talking there, you want to be, when you're older, an engineer.
Yes.
Aeronautical.
Yes.
Why?
I've always been fascinated in like the way rockets and like spacecrafts and all these things work. And when I was like even younger, I wanted to be an astronaut, but now that I think about it, I feel like engineering is cooler. But not just engineering, I also like want to work for people. Engineering is like one thing that I really want to do, but I also just like whatever I do, I want to work for humanity.
Wow, I want to work for humanity. I like that when you were about to say, when I was younger, and you stopped yourself, I was going to say, whoa, that's going back in time. But your other big passion in life is the environment and environmental issues. When did you become interested in environmental issues, and where did the passion develop, or how did it develop?
So, when I was around like first grade, when I was in first grade or second grade, my parents started playing like the news for me. So when I would go to school, my dad would play the news in the car, and then at home, like when I had nothing to do, my mom would play the news, and just so I would always listen to like these climate catastrophes and like what's going on in the world and how climate change and global warming is affecting like certain parts and the most vulnerable parts of the world, right? And so I've always been kind of like eager to know about like what's happening, right? And so when I would just like hear these like catastrophic news that like, you know, the floods happened and earthquakes happened and, you know, the sea level rose and everything, I knew that climate change was like the reason why. And then in 2019, my parents took me to Alaska, and I mean, I said this before, I saw the icebergs falling, and I'm from Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a low-level land, so I know that the sea level would eventually rise and like submerge Bangladesh, parts of Bangladesh, and other low-level land. So I thought, you know, like, instead of just sitting here and like watching all this happen, why? Because every voice counts, you know. I always believe that every voice counts. So why don't I start like working?
But did you not think, oh, but I'm so young, who's going to listen to me? My voice won't count, I'll wait till I'm older. What made you want to start now at this young age?
Definitely that hesitation did come, that like, because I was 7 then, so I was thinking like, will someone actually listen to a 7-year-old, you know? But when I think 7th or 8th birthday, my parents took me to the United Nations because on my birthday there was an event, the International Girl Child Day, and so they took me to the United Nations as like part of my birthday celebration. And I met Mariam Monsef. She was the former Canadian State Minister for Women Affairs, and you know, she saw that I was the youngest one in the room, so she started talking to me, and I told her about, you know, because that was after the 2019 trip, so I told her about, you know, how I'm passionate about climate change and everything like that. So she told me that, you know, I think she showed me that my voice would be a big power, it could be a big advantage that I should like take into, that I should actually use. So that's why after she said that, definitely I had that support from my parents and from my family, but after, you know, she told me those encouraging words, I was like, okay, if she is interested in my story, then why not like someone else, right?
And then how do you get your voice out there? How do you make your voice heard? Do you take to social media? Do you write to people and say, hey, I want to come and be a talker at your event? Or how do you do it?
So when I first started, definitely, because like no one knows who I am, right? No one knew who I am. So I definitely had to like go to people or like email them and say, you know, I see these events are happening and I want to speak, and like here's why I'm passionate. And so when I like first started speaking, I feel like the flow just came, right? I was able to speak more often. And people started inviting me, especially the last 1 or 2 years. So that's, again, social media is also, because nowadays everyone is on social media. Like most people are on social media, so I feel like social media is also a big platform. So I use social media more often.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And so now they contact you and say, hey, can you come and speak at our event
people,
or be part of it?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you still enjoy it as much? Because it does get tiring if you're traveling and you're speaking at events and you're doing interviews, or are you still as passionate about it?
I'm still passionate about it, and definitely like at times it does get tiring, right? But
because you're only human.
Yeah. But I encourage myself by saying that, it's my future. It's our future on the line. And someone has to do, we're all working, but we all have to work. So that's how I encourage myself when I just feel like giving up at times.
So you're like, this is my bit. This is what I'm doing to try and help the problem. And today when you look around the world, what saddens you the most about what you see when it comes to the climate or things happening in the environment?
I feel like people definitely realize like the importance of working together and collaborating for, solving these issues or coming up with solutions for issues such as climate change and global warming. But I still see some people that are like, I guess, hesitant to say that, oh, well, how can I work, right? Because no one will listen to, no one will listen to me, no one will listen to my voice. And these people that are just like hesitant, to work, turns out that if they actually work, they will be able to make a huge impact, right? It's just like that hesitation. Sometimes I just want to go and tell everyone like your voice matters, and I want to go up to every single person and say, if you're feeling hesitant, then don't, because you will be able to make a difference.
And when you look at something like World Cleanup Day, all those voices added together.
They're very, very encouraging and inspiring.
And it can be one huge global voice.
Yeah.
So you're not kind of on your own shouting into the emptiness.
Together,
yeah. And since it began 6 years ago, there's over 70 million people have taken part, which is incredible. What do you think is important about events like World Cleanup Day? Initiatives like that?
I feel like one of the most important things about World Cleanup Day is the amount of people that come together, because if we don't collaborate and if we don't come together, then we will, by ourselves, individually, we will be able to achieve certain things, but we'll only be able to have a much broader impact when we work together and collaborate, right? So definitely World Cleanup Day is important to me because of all the people that come together, and it's just one global movement that makes a huge impact.
And it's easy for people to, because there's so many things online now and so much confusion and so much noise, it's easy to understand. One day, clean up, make a difference in your community, in your town, and then obviously we hope that people take that with them for the rest of the year, but it's something tangible that you can just be like, this day is when I'm going to clean, and this is when you get it done. It's really exciting. So what's in the future for you? You're in school obviously now at the moment, or maybe you've packed in school, you've been done with that, you're like, I've had enough of that. I've learned all there is to learn. Straight to NASA.
I'm in 7th grade right now. School started a couple weeks ago, so I'm good.
7th grade?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of how that translates to Europe, but when would you start high school? How many years?
2 years.
In 2 years' time, you go to high school. But already you have your mind that you'd like to do some sort of engineering.
Yeah.
Okay. And maybe Boeing, maybe Airbus, or your heart set on NASA?
NASA, wow. I want to work for NASA.
That would be fascinating. Have you ever gone to visit NASA or any of the sites?
I have, the Kennedy Space Center.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've wanted to visit. I feel like it's really cool. I just being there, when I first went there, I think I was like 8 or 9, and I was like, I want to work here.
Yeah, and the way that they're kind of going to the final frontier.
Yeah.
And to the very edges. What about SpaceX?
That's cool too, but I think NASA, I'm set on NASA right now.
You think NASA's still cooler than SpaceX?
I think so.
But they're landing their own rockets
and
everything.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
I'm weighing my options right now.
She's open to offers, Elon Musk, if you're watching. So finally, for people who are watching this, young people like you, and they want to, you're a youth ambassador, which is great. And so they're looking at you and saying, oh, well, I want to clean up as well. I want to help the environment, but maybe I feel like I couldn't speak as well as Faatiha does, or maybe I don't have as much time, or I'm not part of the World Cleanup Day or something. What could people do just in a small way to help out and be involved?
I feel like we don't all necessarily have to start out in a big platform, just like starting among your friends, like in your friend circle, or like at home, or in your community. Start small, and you will get that recognition, and you will be able to, speak about what you're passionate about in these huge platforms if you just start small. Like that's how I started. I started among my friends, at home, and then I was able to, like slowly build up. So I feel like just starting small and advocating for what you're passionate about, like, is the key to driving change.
One step at a time.
Yeah.
Tomorrow you're speaking at the UN.
I am, yeah, tomorrow, and then I have a couple of programs coming up. UNGA, and then a couple of other programs.
Tomorrow, what's the topic of the conversation?
So tomorrow is Transforming for Trade, and I'm part of the open discussion, so I will be speaking about, how we should we should think about everyone when we're thinking about like the equal distribution of wealth, and especially prioritizing the marginalized and vulnerable communities.
Because as we've been discussing here in the program, that all fits into the environmental issues as well. Because if someone is impoverished, then really their main priority is getting money to put food on the table and keeping the house warm. They're not generally concerned about big global environmental issues, which you can totally understand. And that's something that people in your home country face. That's the problem they face a lot as well in Bangladesh.
Yeah, so that's why I feel like, just tomorrow, what my main message will be just like, making sure that a lot of people or most people are aware about their actions, and not just that, but also like, my call to action would be to the world leaders to actually like think about, okay, not just their economic benefits for their country, but also like the other things that impact, like climate change and other factors that impact their country as a whole.
Would you ever want to get into politics?
No, not really.
No? No interest in politics, why not?
I feel like when you like step into politics, that's like something where, certain people will like you and certain people don't. And if you just stay mutual, like everyone likes you. So I feel like staying mutual. I feel like not getting into politics would be easier for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting, because I think you'd be a very good politician. You'd be a good leader, natural leader, and inspire people. But you're right, politics is a dirty game. It's better to go work for NASA and have loads of fun. Hey, this was really cool. Meeting you in person, and I've been admiring all the work you do for years, like so many others. And how many followers now on Instagram? Or
I guess like 2 million on Facebook.
2 million?
I'm not sure.
Isn't that, who's counting? But isn't that incredible?
I mean, I'm definitely like very thankful for all the support and encouragement that I've received from people, and just seeing like the amount of people that say like, keep doing like the work you're doing. Is just like really, at times when I feel like, like what's the point of this? Like I'm just getting tired. These people are the people, and definitely my family as well, but all these people are just like telling me to keep like continuing.
That is awesome. Well, listen, it's been great talking to you, Faatiha Aayat, and hang on there for our great youth ambassador, and you can follow her on Instagram and everywhere. Just we're going to go live now to Jessica. We were talking about Jessica a moment ago, were we not? Yes, you were. Are you excited to see Jessica?
Yeah.
So am I. Let's find out if we go live now to Jessica, who's in New York City. Where are you, Jessica, and what is happening?